We are live. Welcome back to World Weavers, everybody. The collaborative world-building actual play experiment. My name's Grant Milkey. I'm the DM. Today, I am proud to be joined by Andy Hadfield.
Rain Osandresh. I am not making friends, and I really just want to find Randall and go home.
Andrew McClelland.
Welcome to World Weavers, this enchanting world where magic meets melody. I am Altair, a celestial ASMR bard.
Emily Folger.
Father Nespin, frolicking freely and making fungal friends.
Ooh. Aaron Fitzgerald. Who is muted.
Arnar.
Keitha and Hanuel, both very lost and very bad at computers. Not a very good start to the episode, but...
You're great. Last but not least, Maggie Borden.
Roxy Brassmantle here, not the one touching rocks this time.
Previously on World Weavers, the players made a new little friend. A tiny little blue spotted poodle-sized mushroom fella born straight from the head of Rob. The little guy seemed to be very much interested in Fava. Fava and Roxy shared a brief vision of some sort of lightning strike, and Fava remembered she had indeed seen a tree before. Keitha, inspecting the strange hand in the desert, accidentally struck a giant rockadillo, enraging and terrifying the beast, and Altair revealed just a little bit of darkness from within him, frightening the creature away. Rain urged the group to press onward, but as night fell, they ultimately decided to stop and set up camp. And that is where we are. Camp, the morning of day 2 of our adventure.
Alright, as far as I know, which one of you has the map again? Because I assume we're still very lost.
Well, I had grabbed that stack of menus, and I throughout the evening was trying to figure out if there's some sort of map somewhere.
Would she have been successful?
I think it's possible to find a map of Skortur. I think that the issue is with the lack of, let's call it, navigable, landmarks.
Gotcha.
We're talking more, perhaps being able to tell what direction you're headed using, stars and things like that. So I'm more than happy to take a survival check from
Can
you.
I make a check with my navigator's tools that I am proficient in?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I love tool
Rain's had him
checks.
this whole time, and it's just like,
Nobody
watch
asked.
them run.
Yes. So I don't have a high intelligence, so it doesn't really matter that much.
DM, I'm trying to remember. I feel like I rolled a survival or check from last session. I feel like I was, if I'm remembering correctly, I was guiding during the latter portion of last session.
Yeah.
To our current camping spot.
Yeah,
Correct.
and we got lost.
And then we got lost, yeah.
I think you got lost. Altair kind of helped you get a little bit more on track. Now it's morning. The hot blazing sun has started to, just wash over the land very quickly. It's very dry heat. Hard to really look too far in any one direction just because of how bright it is.
And I rolled a 19.
Excellent. I really think you're able to, again, it's not going to be a precise art just because of the terrain, but I do think you get a really solid beat on where you are, Rain, and the direction you're trying to head. I think you should be able to course correct from here.
We just got to go that way. I don't need a map. Maps are not helpful unless there's a big rock formation on your map.
I mean, we were just in a big rock formation.
That's why I... Yes.
Decidedly not on the map.
Oh, that's exciting.
Although, give me Actually, I'll just I will take your navigation tool check that you just did, and I'll kind of also let you draw a bead back to where you would have found that hand, just in case you ever were to hypothetically want to find it again. Something you could mark on the map.
Do you want to add the mark on your map menu? Why are there words of food written all over this?
Listen, I just took it off the guy who had it for the last 3 weeks. I can't be held responsible for what he was doing to it. I just got a backpack. All right, here, you can do whatever you want with it, though. If you clearly know better than I do.
All right, we're going to put the rock formation on the map because I have a feeling we're going to get lost again. So she'll mark it up.
Yeah.
And roughly how far are we from the rock? Like, can we, like, see it on the horizon still? Or are we, like, sufficiently far away from enough from it now that we're, like, in the middle of the desert?
We traveled like half a day, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Let me take a quick look here.
And I carried Fava, so no small legs.
Let me check the curve
Thanks,
of the
Roxy.
bean. You're right in the cleft of the bean, so there's going to be some extra curvature. You know what I mean? On the earth
Gotcha.
right now. So while the horizon is pretty clean,
Are we going on the downward of the curve or the upward of the curve?
so you would be heading northwest. So you're kind of going, yeah, you're going towards a curve down. Anyways, I I do think that at a normal pace, about 4 hours, you're about 12 to 15 miles away from it. Can you see 12 miles on the horizon?
Yeah,
He Googled live.
depending on how tall it is.
You can see up to 3 miles due to the curvature of the Earth on a clear day. So 12 miles. So
And
no,
considering
you
this is
cannot
a
see it.
bean shape.
Yeah, I don't
Can we
think you
really
can see
see?
it right now.
So we are officially, if we lose track of navigation, we're completely lost.
I mean, the nice part about Skortur, though, is that it's an island. So if we just keep walking, we'll find an edge eventually.
Exactly.
I
That's a
like
fair
your
point.
moxie. Yeah, it's good.
And straight off
I'm
the
so
rocky
sorry.
cliffs into the ocean.
I'm so sorry, Father.
be fine.
You mentioned that you would find the edge eventually, but
Yes.
you've never been to that edge, correct?
No. No.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just clarifying.
You say edge, do you mean like edge like a cliff? Or like edge like, like a beach? Like
don't
between
know.
the land and
She's
the
never
been there.
sand?
Where
I've never
water
been
meets
there.
land, I am assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, you three would probably know better because you had to get here somehow.
That's true.
I-
You
I-
land on the edge.
I will describe to you the coast of Skortur is for the most part cliffs, very treacherous, not something where one lands boats. The Skortur research base, which was in the northeastern side of the map, I can go ahead and pull that up for you here. Hello, my wonderful players. So the Skortur research base is one of the only places where there would be landable beach. Landable beach is now a geographical term. Beach where one could land. The rest of the coast of Skortur is very cliffs, rocky. If there's not rocks, right up into the water, then there are hidden rocks in the waves and very hard to see because it's very foamy. This interrupts a lot of currents. You knew of a very special smuggling area right around here where you were able to land your boat and take steps up. That is how that you got onto Skortur, was a kind of like a smuggler's cove kind of situation, like a secret place where one could land a boat, whereas most of the coastline is not landable.
Cool.
Okay. Alright, so are we just trekking to Banstol then? Or are we trying
No.
to head...
We're going to find Randall.
You're still going to find Randall because Ben's in the opposite direction that we've been walking.
Right.
We came from Benstool so that we could find Randall. So we're going to find Randall.
May I ask, why did Randall leave Bandstool to begin with? What happened there?
He was kidnapped.
Oh.
I don't know, actually. That's what I assume.
Oh,
'Cause I don't know why
I
he would
gotcha,
leave
I gotcha.
otherwise.
I mean,
Oh.
last we saw him, he was on the back of a giant bug, so I assume that he was in fact kidnapped.
That's what we assumed, was that he was taken by the bugs. So it tracks.
Alright, so judging by where the hand was and then the direction the bug headed off, can we, like, track the bug in a sense that, like, are there any hot spots, any, like, ideal areas, like oases for, like, a hive or a spawning point that these bugs will go to? Fava, you probably wouldn't know, but in your time here, like, with your navigator tools and such, would there be any oases of sorts?
I literally got dropped in the middle and spent all my time at Benstool. I didn't just walk around this horrible place.
Alright.
I have studied Skortur a bit in my books and my rock walks. I don't know what those bugs were. I know what the Ankeg was. I've heard of that before. But I don't know what was riding it.
Alright.
So,
Where do Ankegs usually like to nest? Where are their, like, general nesting spots? Because, I mean, if we have any hope of finding Randall before he's eaten or turned into a soldier, I think was what the bug said. If we have any hope of finding him, it'll be finding the nearest nest.
Give me an insight check and a nature check.
You say
Insight and nature.
eaten, and Fava's eyes get even bigger. You didn't think it was possible, but it is.
And Rain just looks super bad.
oh no.
Fava, we're going to get to him before he gets eaten. We're going to stop the bugs from eating.
Stop saying eaten. Stop.
Maybe he just doesn't get eaten at all.
It's not.
Maybe that's just, we
Eaten
don't
is
gotta
not
think
on the
about that.
table. He's fine.
Insight and nature?
Yeah.
Insight 8. Nature 15.
So, with a 15 nature check, I think that you would be able to draw enough conclusions about the creature from, like, similar creatures. You would guess they probably live in, like, caverns, tunnels, burrows, like, under... You're guessing other than, like, the rockadillos you saw that had this, like, thick, scaly canopy over them. Most things probably do not live on the surface of Skortur.
Alright.
As far as insight, I would just call back your memory. I'm not going to give you any additional information due to the way that your dice rolled, but I would just call your memory back to that very brief telepathic link you had with it. It did not say... I don't want to give away too much. I just would. You're kind of like a lot has happened in a very short period of time, and you're trying to remember exactly, what was conveyed to you from
it
that.
Was soldier was the one word, like a very heavy emphasis on the one word soldier, which carry like you said, some sort of like primal meaning. And I'm trying to. Were they being fed to a soldier? Were they being turned into a soldier? Like. Illithid style?
Those are all the right questions.
I'd share this with the group, and I'd exclude Fava. I'd show Fava a nice rock, and then talk to the rest of the group, and it's like, so when I talked to the bugs via the telepathy, they said that they just said soldier. I don't know what they meant by that, but either they're getting fed to a soldier or they're getting turned into a soldier, like transmogrification style. So we either need to get there before it happens, or intercept them. Second one's off the table. So do we just wander wander around before we find one, or like how do we go about looking for a nest?
Well, I mean,
Well, I
we've
will
been
say-
going in the direction that they went, and we're going to continue going in the direction that they went, looking for tracks.
It's a windy desert after a storm. I highly doubt there's tracks.
I
Well, we
mean,
could
that's
certainly
how
try.
me and Father got to it in the first place. It's
Can Fava see tracks? We don't. Fava,
No?
Hmm.
can you see tracks that we don't?
I don't know what that means. I can see very far in the dark. I'll look for tracks.
Gonna start looking for any semblance of anything.
Sure. You're still a little bit off track the direction that it was heading. Rain has gotten you the, correct bearing to get back on track for the way it was going.
We
But
gotta walk
currently
first.
you're off. Right. There's going to be some travel involved before you're where tracks might be.
I will just point to the way Rain was telling us to go.
I think that way.
Good job, Father. You found the tracks. Can we go? You could talk along the way. I just don't want Randall to be not eaten
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
We should probably get on if we're going to, yeah.
All right.
Before we decide to progress any further along this particular thing, Altair is going to take just gently take Roxy aside for a second. I'm sorry, Roxy. Am I to understand we're no longer heading to Banstool?
Well, here's the
Because
thing.
if we aren't, that's totally fine. I understand, but I thought that the inquiries that you were making at Banstool were of great importance, and
They
especially
are.
trying to find that one person who had perhaps some information regarding the celestial, potentially the celestial collision that might come about shortly.
No, and I think they still are. If I'm being honest, I was a little taken aback when I met somebody or two people who had been to Bandstool, but they said they'd never even heard of this person. I mean, all of my research seemed to indicate it's not a particularly big place, so it seemed like they should have heard of this guy before. I mean, he was pretty well known before he kind of fell off of the map, so to speak. I don't know. I guess I just figure it might be better to stick with people who have been where we're trying to get, even if we have to go off track a little bit.
Okay, I am 100% going to stick with you throughout this, given the fact that I consider myself very much a tourist in this neck of the woods. Altair looks around. There are no woods. But I just want you to know, I don't really care about this dwarf. I don't know who this Randall is. I don't personally.
I got nothing. I don't know who this guy is either. I just,
So
nice.
I'm to understand that we're here for to hopefully gain some favor with the people that we're traveling with.
Yeah, I
Perhaps
feel
strength
like-
in numbers.
Yeah, I feel like if they need help and we are the last people that saw their friend, maybe they'd be inclined once we find their friend to help us get to where we're going. That, it just seems sort of like a pay it forward sort of thing.
All right. I can get behind that. All right. Okay. Yes. What about this dwarven fellow? He says to the rest of the group. Shall we get
Randall?
cracking?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
I
kind of
propose
just
we
waiting
do.
on you, so yes.
Well, we had to regroup for a second. Sorry about that.
Yes. Sidebar. Yes. Rain, I saw you had those navigator tools. Very, very interesting, very complex mechanism there. I was wondering, would you mind if I took a look at them very briefly?
Why?
Oh, because I'm something of a stellar cartographer of sorts, and I saw that you use the stars, I'm assuming, to navigate and find your waypoints, and etc.
I mean, it's morning. I just use the sun and the wind and...
Oh. So how does your mechanism work then?
I don't have time. We have to go find Randall. Here, take the stupid tools, look at them, you figure it out and tell me, because I don't have time. But maybe I'll teach you later. Probably not. Can we go find Randall?
Altair takes the navigator tools. Just okay. Yeah.
It's just like six things, and she just piles them all.
It's just Altair just starts to go over them and just look at all the different kinds of with extreme care.
So you'll feel the just tiniest pat on your leg of.
Don't mind Rain. She's wonderful.
Oh, I get the sense that she is a very complicated individual, and I mean, you seem to be very pleasant, and if she's a traveling companion of yours, then I'm sure that she has a very warm, soft interior somewhere that we just haven't got to yet.
She's wonderful.
Perhaps not.
She's my best friend, but she doesn't like many people, so don't be offended.
Well, she's something of a protector for you. Is that correct?
Yes. I protect her at Bandstool, though. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, she probably does the lion's share of the protecting, though. You know, on your many little rock walks and your studies at a Bandstool is a fortress prison. I'm assuming
it's a hospital, so not many people come there or want to come there, but they heal there, and it's also a good place.
Were you doing much healing there, Father?
I didn't have much to heal. I've been helping heal.
But you couldn't leave.
No.
This is okay. This is a story that I'm getting the sense has many layers to it, and Rain is a part of it, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing. Oh, please.
I appeared at the door when I was very little, and you can't really leave Skortur, so I wasn't supposed to leave the hospital. But then after a while, the carts stopped coming, and so you can't really leave Skortur without a cart, and so I've just been there.
But I must have misunderstood earlier. You were not held as like a prisoner per se.
No, not a prisoner. No, it's a hospital.
Altair doesn't believe
blink.
any of this, just from certain things that he's been led to believe about, like Skortur and the stuff that goes on, or the rumors surrounding Bandstool. It doesn't sound anything like a place where, you know, people are just benevolently healed. It sounds very much like something a little bit nefarious is happening.
I think the rumors that you have heard and Altair's struggle to reconcile that with Fava's take is absolutely confusing, as Altair is picking up. You're not missing it. You, the player, is not missing anything, and Altair, the character, is not missing anything. There are a lot of rumors about Bandstool. But this is your first, to be fair, this is your first person, you know what I mean, report of Bandstool, so.
As we're walking and talking, could I have Hanul go ahead of us quite a ways?
Let me check. Is there a range on that ability?
I don't believe that there's a range. I think there's a range for summoning it, but you manifest it within 15 feet of you. Oh, so max is 30 feet. So it's just going to be like 20 to 30 feet ahead of us, just walking along. Mostly for scouting purposes, as I am now paranoidly avoiding every single rock we come across by like a 15-foot margin. So Hano will just go up, and I can swap between places with them at will. So if we ever need to get anywhere, I can do that. But they're just going to be walking like 30 feet ahead of us.
Got it.
So, and if
and every
start
time
combat,
you like look away from a rock, like out of the corner of your eyes, like you swear you see it move a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So they're gonna, just in case combat ever happens, they are 30 feet ahead of us.
Okay. So as you continue on, so you're going northwest, you head that direction for about, we'll give it 4 hours, getting near midday here, a nice long march. You do see Hanul would, kind of call back to you, Keitha, as they would be the first person to see it, and just be like, there's a break in the horizon, Keitha.
Oh,
and point ahead.
Oh, all right. And she will swap places up to where Hanul is, and then take a look.
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking again. It's a very much a wasteland. Like there's shrubs, there's rocks, but it's mostly just cracked, flat, clay and sand. And you do see in the distance, it looks like there's a crack in the ground or something. There's this break in the horizon. It looks like it would go down.
Like how are we talking? Like Grand Canyon big or like cavern big? Like how big are we talking?
Like not Grand Canyon big whatsoever.
Okay.
We're talking like
big sinkhole in the middle of the city.
You're probably about 2.5, 2 miles away from it.
Break in a horizon, and I thought by break in the horizon, you literally meant the horizon itself dipped.
No, like the what you're seeing in the distance has changed a little bit.
Gotcha.
Right. I would say it's probably about you'd estimate like 20, 30 meters long.
Okay. I'll swap back and all right. There appears to be some sort of like cavern or canyon up ahead. Everyone on your guard. We're probably approaching the nest, as far as I know.
Do I know when Keitha says cavern or whatever break in the horizon, would I clue into what we are reaching? Namely, I know about the scar. Does Fava... Is that what we're coming on?
Absolutely not the scar. The scar is Grand Canyon size. More than that even. The scar is a massive, and you would know as... I think you would be able to see the scar. If you were to turn and look west, you would see what looks like a cut mountain range with the top lopped off in the west.
Gotcha.
Pretty much the entire horizon to your west would be where the scar would be. So you gotta, if you picture a crater, it goes up on the end and then deep drop off from all of the displacement there.
Thank you.
All right. Fava, we'll be getting to Randall soon, I hope. Altir, that fear thing, can you still do that?
Yes, I can.
We might be needing of that service if there's more of those bugs.
I listen.
And you see,
I might be able to use it. It's not something I necessarily like to do that often. It's me at my worst self, if I'm being honest.
Oh, all right. I did not mean any offense. And you see, Keitha is entirely on edge, probably a bit more strung up than they should be. You see they're sweating slightly, and like their hands are shaking a little bit as they're looking around. And they keep, instead of walking places themselves, they keep swapping between Keitha and Hanwell rather than just walking places. So they're insanely on edge right now. All right.
It's a hole in the
I
ground.
guess
Let's just
who's
walk
going
up to
first?
it. I'll go first. It's a hole in the ground. We're just gonna march towards it.
She is so cool. She's just so cool, guys.
So
Isn't she wonderful?
Rain clocks what you have pointed out in the horizon and kind of breaks from the group, adjusts, and realizes, man, I was really on course. Hell yeah. And heads towards
Emily's right.
and heads towards this break in the ground. Everyone is following, if you are to follow, alongside Rain.
They just leave me behind.
I will say around right now, Fava, you'd be like, you'd be hearing in your pack, you'd be like, hello, hello.
I'll open the little pouch that I put him in.
Hello?
He's like, ah, and
Take him
he
out.
kind of like looks around and, you know, is like looking all over your person, and he's like, looks at you and looks a little bit like distraught. You can roll like insight. And he's just like looking all over you, looking around. Hey, you have no
11.
idea. You have no
What's
idea.
wrong, little friend? What
Hello?
are you looking for? Hello?
Hello.
What? Hello, I'm Fava.
Hi.
What's your name?
Fava.
We share a name. Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Do you need something? Are you looking?
I'm gonna start like looking as well on my person.
Oh, and that like this little guy, like when you start looking, he like really starts. He's like, you know, trying to lift up your arm and trying to like look, and he's just like trying to help you look.
What are we looking for, Fava?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking for rocks?
No, like hold him awkwardly with one tiny hand and like start offering rocks. Like,
Oh, he picks up one of the rocks and he's like, ah, and like takes a big old bite of one and he spits it out and he's like, ah.
Oh,
Fava has a Pikachu right now. Or a Pokemon, rather.
Did you say Rob took a bite of a rock? Or
It tries.
swallowed
It's
it?
like,
Okay.
ah.
Okay, I thought you meant like they actually took a bite out of the rock.
That'd be terrifying.
Strongest mushroom ever.
we don't eat rocks. Are you hungry?
she'll like dig through
Yeah.
and pull out a bit of rations. Like offer it to him.
And that is precisely what the little guy wanted. And it grabs a little bit and then just kind of like rolls on its back in your hand and starts eating. As you all approach, you see that indeed there is a crevice, a crack in this ground ahead of you. Looking, as I understand the way you're approaching, Rain, not exactly, just approaching, correct? Nothing
Yeah.
special. As you look over this area, you see that it is deep. Probably talking about 50 meters deep. There is some type of fresh, well, you don't know it's fresh. There's some type of water down at the bottom of this little crevice that seems to flow through a crack in the rock and then down into the ground. If you were to do a couple, what are they called? Like backs? I'm not a mountain climber.
The
But if you were
switchbacks?
Switchbacks, yeah. If you were to do a couple switchbacks, you would see that there is a large, shadowy hole in the side of the cave here. And then there is a very distressed, kind of worn statue of a humanoid figure. Hard to make out specific details, but it seems to be kind of like standing sentry at the door. Fava and Rain, this looks very familiar as perhaps even the same sculptor as a statue that is in Bandstool, about the same size of a humanoid figure. Kind of the same proportions. This one looks much more weathered, much more worn.
Rain, it looks like the one at Bandstool.
What a coincidence. I'm guessing that's where Randall is.
Oh.
Also,
well,
it's a
Father, we have to go
creepy-
rescue Randall. Be safe.
And I'll
Why
like
are you talking to yourself?
I'm not.
Fava!
His name is Fava. The little mushroom's name is Fava.
Did you name him Fava, or did he?
No, I asked him
Yeah.
his name. And his
The mushroom, his
was
name is
Fava.
Rob.
Oh. Is
Yeah.
your name Rob?
Rob!
Maybe
Oh.
it's a nickname?
Rob!
Never
Okay.
mind, his name is Rob.
Rob!
Father, is it possible that you could ask Rob to kind of quiet down a little bit? I don't want, like, the reverberations.
Rob!
Rob.
I'll pull off another piece of rations, be like,
Okay, Rob.
It rolls right back on his back and starts munching.
I'll like put him back in a little patch.
Maybe move over. Got Rob there. Okay.
Oh, I forgot his little friend in there.
What little friend could you be referring to?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. Beep.
The Rob.
Censor.
Yeah. Oh, is somebody more stealthy than me? Because I'm just going to walk in the cave. But we probably shouldn't. Also, that's the first body of water I've seen in 2 years, so I would really like to take a swim, but now's not the time.
Is that what water looks like? Oh.
DM?
Water.
But like,
Would I be able to
Body
fly above this space just to sort of scout out?
Can you fly? You tell me.
Yeah.
Can you fly?
Can you?
But I'm wondering, is it possible for me to just get high, just not even terribly high, just seeing it from like a different perspective?
Just a couple puffs. Yeah.
Just a teeny bit.
Okay.
I mean, assuming your character can fly. That's the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if
Right.
that's like a daily use thing or if that's just I don't actually know much about. ASMR.
So yeah, it's like once per day,
Okay.
once per long rest rather.
Yeah, then absolutely. If that's the way that you would like to use that resource, then by all means.
Yeah. I'm just trying.
That
because
sounds
if we're
like
gonna
a
be,
GM warning. I'm not trying to dissuade you.
but if we're gonna be going into a cave, I don't
Sure.
think I'll be able to.
I forgot to tell you about the flying caves of Skortur.
Yeah, I know. Darn it.
Dun,
No,
dun.
never mind. I'm gonna hold off.
I'm having flashbacks to when I talked someone
Altair
into...
spreads his wings and then just puts them back down. It's like, never mind.
No.
All right.
I mean, I'd be willing.
I
I'm small. I could sneak over there.
All right, Roxy, if you want to do that, that'd be great.
Sure. Can I-
Please be careful. I'm gonna. Altair is going to give Roxy a bardic inspiration.
Beautiful.
Wow. Thanks.
You need to rhyme, please be careful then.
Performance anxiety. Damn it. Give me a few minutes, and then I will rhyme. I will rhyme. Be careful.
You can't just give someone bardic inspiration. You have to be inspiring. I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
have to
Roxy,
Yes.
you have a, I believe it's a 1d6. Does everyone know how bardic inspiration works?
Yeah, you can choose
Wait a
to
minute.
add it after you roll.
Yeah, so after you roll a ability check, I believe, or a saving throw,
Okay.
you can choose to add this resource from Altair. You can roll a 1d6 and add that number to your total.
Cool.
Very powerful, very fun.
Yeah. So for right now, would that be a stealth if I'm sneaky?
So you can roll, and you can decide after you see the roll whether or not you'd like to add anything to it.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that. I just mean, what
Sorry.
should I be rolling?
Yeah, if you were trying to sneak up, then roll stealth. I'm
Okay.
going to say disadvantage because there aren't really any hiding places, and the sun is,
Heard.
I mean, literally right above you right now.
Yeah. I gotcha. With disadvantage. So, did it go?
Oof.
A 7.
Seven.
Is a 7. Yeah.
I mean, not for any lack of trying, just a simple matter of you're not really able to find anywhere to. You're not dressed appropriately to camouflage yourself. The sun is very high right now, and there's really nowhere to step without just the crunch of the rocks against like this clay here. So you don't feel like you're really making a quiet approach. But
Cool. It's like John Belushi in Animal House trying to sneak in, just bouncing around in front of an area in full view of everyone.
Before you go, we're gonna retcon this. Before you leave with the bardic inspiration, I'm sorry, this is really rough, but Altier says, "In life's intricate dance, take heed, my friend, to each step you take. With care, attend." And then, yeah, you do your thing.
Grain's gonna roll her eyes.
I grant you bardic inspiration. No.
Does he do this every time?
I don't think the bardic would do much.
Aw.
Now give me a survival check, Roxy, and kind of go ahead and move your token to where you would be.
Okay. Let's see. I think probably maybe like I think she'd try to stay kind of like to this side wall area. Hold on, I'll ping it.
Okay.
Like that kind of general wall.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just to sort of make her way up to it in the event that, something looks suspicious by the time she gets to here. She sort of has taken the farther route so she can sneak out if need be. And you said you needed a survival check?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Okay. Just a normal one?
You can give me a dramatic one. That's fine.
That would be a 10 survival check.
Okay. Thank you. That's all. Go ahead.
Dooba. Okay.
Reload, quick save.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Keep sneaking.
The game just auto-saved for me. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Lord. Oh,
Why is there a
Lord.
random health pool here? What?
Keep sneaking.
Do you guys hear that? Is that boss music? What?
Yeah.
Sneaky. Any
And Roxy, you'd hear in your head,
friends?
is everything clear?
Oh God. Yeah. So far, so good. Are you right behind me?
Oh, no, I should ask
Okay.
first. Mind
Okay,
link.
I
This
just-
is telepathy. Sorry.
Just checking. Okay.
No warning, no heads up. You just hear a voice in your head.
It's good. It's good.
Jumps, falls off a cliff. Do you, that you see
Maybe that's the reason
some
they failed the check.
words etched in the stone by this entrance.
Oh.
Do you speak Celestial, Roxy?
Do I speak Celestial? No. I speak Gnomish. How about that?
You're not. You can see the script, and you can see that it has kind of like a little glow to it, almost like a just like some light pulsing, like it was etched here with magic. Nothing dangerous or anything like that, but you're not able to read what the words are.
Okay.
Looking into this cave, you see that it is. This is a big cave entrance. We're talking like 20 feet wide, maybe like 30 feet high, like large cave entrance. It is very dark. Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Looking into it, you immediately are seeing everything in kind of the shades of gray that you are able to see, in the
Mhm.
dark. It looks like it has a sharp curve to the right, about
Okay.
50 or 60 feet in the cave. Other than
Okay.
that, it just looks to be kind of the same stone material as out here.
And does the immediate entrance of the cave look like well worn or like recent footsteps or kind of like nobody's been here in a long time?
Yeah, so you kind of look below you and look, and definitely movement, definitely disturbance. Go ahead and give me another survival check.
Okay. Can I share that information with Katha first through our mind link? I would let her know.
Hey, got some glowy writing, and looks like maybe some friends up ahead. Just FYI.
What kind of writing? Like, do you the glyphs? Do you
kind of
recognize what
fancy.
language it is?
It looks really fancy and sparkly, and
Fancy.
That's another 10 survival, just for reference.
Definite movement, not really able to make much else out than that, but there's
Okay.
definitely
fancy and sparkly. Altair, this might be your area of expertise. There's fancy writing.
Ah, fancy writing.
Can you
Well-
ask her if we can go down?
I mean,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Altair,
Really good
Altair
hearing.
follows the
good
trajectory and path that Roxy took to get down.
Altair's just gonna go before we get to go ahead. Okay.
I don't want to be loud, just in case. But yeah, come on over.
You will notice, Roxy, as you're near the entrance of this little cavern here, that you can hear very well what's going on up above. Like, it's almost like a perfect echo chamber, like acoustics. Like, it's like you're like standing right next to them.
Altair is going to go as quietly as he can. So I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna stealth.
Oh, you scare the shit out of Roxy when you get down there.
Stop! Everybody, stop doing that.
They'll never see me coming.
Yeah, you're very light on your feet. Again, it's not like visual stealth, but you're able to kind of avoid making noise as you.
We should have sent Altair the first time.
Altair, when he gets down there, he's going to like pull out his one of his little travel notebooks, and he is going to just start looking at and studying the statue that he sees in front of him, and he is just going to start taking notes. I do speak Celestial. What does the script say?
The script on the kind of cave entrance, it looks like it's been etched magically in some way. And it has kind of like a gold glow to it. And it says, "Born of Remnant, keep away."
Born of Remnant. Very reminiscent of like Indiana Jones. Altair is going to like pass his hand just very gently over the script, the glowing script. And he says to Roxy, listen, I'm not trying to speak rudely here, but you lot might want to be careful. It says, born of remnant. It's like keep out or keep away. It's a rough translation. I apologize, but you were explaining to me how some of you possess certain magical abilities, and it seems that those who are born of remnant. I don't know. It seems like this might be dangerous ground that you might be treading.
Okay, that's good to know, because, strange.
Share that with the crew that are still hanging out up at the top. Be like, if y'all want to
come on down, I just be really careful and quiet, and maybe keep an eye on Fava.
All right.
Maybe keep
and
her,
then
toward the back, or
Fava, wake up, Fava.
She's doing the like little kid pee dance. The like,
Randall's in there. I need to go get Randall.
we don't know that for sure. We're just, it's our best guess right now, but we have to make sure that we all are alive to save Randall should he need saving. So we just need to be a little cautious because it sounds like this fancy writing is maybe a death sentence for some. So, yeah.
The statue looks like the one at Bandstool, so I don't know why it would be dangerous.
Oh.
Those born of remnant, Hanul, I think you may want to sit this one out. I don't think that this would necessarily be a great idea for you, considering the writing. And I'm speaking directly to Hanul.
Rain's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Oh.
Not gonna tell anybody. She's gonna cast Detect Magic from the back.
So cool.
And just see where magic is emanating from, to make sure there's not some kind of magical trap for as soon as you enter that door.
So you see that there is some transmutation magic on the script itself. That is glowing, and the entryway of the door itself, you start to see a glow of what appears to be abjuration magic.
The door is magical. Be careful.
Okay. Just that. Just be careful. Nothing else we need to be aware of or concerned about.
That's the most she's ever helped.
That's
You're
fair.
already.
I'm just kind of stunned. I'm a question kind of person. I apologize.
Just
Keitha
goes back to
will-
staring at the stone.
It's abjuration magic.
Keitha will, like...
You know what? Just go ahead. Find out
put
yourself.
her-
I won't say anything.
I recognize... It's either this or I send Hanul through, and I don't want to kill Hanul, so I'd rather do it myself, because I'm not purely magical. And she's just going to reach her hand out very, very slowly, and the instant she, like, feels anything, she'll pull back. Like, towards where Rain saw the glowing runes, she's going to kind of reach out.
Okay. You would need to move 5 feet further to the west. And then I will ask...
No touching.
and then I will have to ask for a dexterity saving throw, Keitha.
Okay, as part of this dexterity saving throw, could I swap places with Hanul, who's farther away?
If that's a reaction, I believe it's a bonus action, though.
Ah, that is true. Okay, dexterity saving throw. Here we go. Dexterity saving throw. Just normal? Yeah, alert. Please be good. I can't see it yet. That's not good. That's a 6.
How much HP do you have, Keitha?
I currently have 35 out of 35 hit points.
Okay, you could very easily survive this. We'll see. Not too shabby. Keitha, you explode. The second that you
It's
feel
official.
something is too late, you are thrown backwards towards Roxy, who I imagine is not going to be excellent as far as catching you goes.
Self-preservation is not that one's strong suit.
As fire spits out of the entryway of this cave here.
All right, and that was how much? 18?
And you take 18 fire damage.
All right.
That would have killed me.
Nobody
Down
touched
to
the
you.
door. I'm trying to apply damage. All right. And she's currently blasted up against the rock and is kind of stunned, so they are not moving.
So yeah, the rest of you, I think this would all be happening kind of quickly when you think about kind of the speed at which Rain basically, casts this little bit of magic, gives the warning, and Keitha nods and then
Just walks right into it.
and then touches it, and it explodes and sends her hurling backwards. Rain, the glow of abjuration magic is still present.
Altier looks at Roxy and says, Roxy, I thought you just told the others, that not to go, that we shouldn't be entering, because the remnant magic, that people born of remnant keep away.
I told them as best I could what I knew. That's all I got.
The door is still dangerous, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe if you touch it again, it will kill.
Maybe.
Nobody touched it. Nobody do anything.
I don't think anybody
I
should
can
touch that door.
confirm that the door, anyone who has, and I barely have remnant. Most of my remnant is with Hano, so I barely have any, and it did that to me. I don't want to know what it'll do to Fava or someone else. Everyone stay away.
I don't
Give
know
me a
what
moment.
what you mean with me and Remnant, but you're very hurt.
And she will put out her hands, and little bits of the glittery light stuff happens.
Oh.
And you will heal 8. She'll use 2 of her healing lights on you. 8 and 9. So
That will bring me back
17.
to full. Oh wait, no,
I'll-
it 1 under, so I'm 1
Yeah.
under. Okay.
Ah!
That's
Magic,
very sweet of
magic.
you, Fava. Thank you kindly.
Altier is going to
Wait.
approach the cave entrance.
Okay.
Old here, don't do it. Stay away.
Go ahead.
Listen,
it surely
I'm-
won't
I'm-
happen a second time.
Listen, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly confident I am not born of remnant. So,
You have wings you can summon at will.
Everything in the world is remnant. You do it.
everything
sure.
in this world,
Not from
everything in
this
this world, as far as we know,
I'm
is
pretty sure everything
remnant.
in the world is remnant.
All
But
right,
I'm not
go
of this
ahead,
world.
Just don't blame me when your
Everything in
feathers get
this
blown off.
universe. You know what? Yeah. Once I agree with Kate.
Altier is going to he's going to approach just to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Rotisserie for dinner, anyone?
Altier, you feel the little bit of tingle as the magic kind of like inspects you.
Mhm.
And you do not explode.
Oh, that's just not fair.
Oh
I feel like I've been lied to.
no, it's like a cheat code. I like it.
Whole life.
I like it. This is good. This is good.
Okay,
No, we can use this. We can use this. Should all
I'll be honest. That whole thing was entirely a shot in the dark, and you see Altier just visibly sweating right now. Okay. I'm just very happy to be alive at this point. Listen, and at this point, Altier is sort of frantically sort of looking around the cave entrance to see if there's perhaps a sort of an arcane switch, maybe that so that the magics stop acting as a barrier.
On the other side, now that you are kind of passed through, you see written celestial on the other side. There's another little bit of golden writing etched in. And it says, with your blessing.
With your blessing. Roxy, there's some more writing in the interior. Let me just
Okay.
study it just for a second. It is same language as the writing on this statue outside. It says with your blessing.
So,
With your blessing.
No, that's a
That's
complete
it. Oh,
sentence.
that's
it.
it.
Yes.
With your blessing. Okay.
just
Huh.
invite us in like a vampire. Like, do you have to
maybe,
invite us across the threshold?
maybe.
Sorry,
yeah.
what's a vampire?
We'll get to that
Um,
one thing at a time. One thing at a time. We can go over vampires maybe later, but yeah, that's intriguing. Invite us into the thing. Say, hey, come on into the cave and let's see what happens.
Maybe we should try it with not a living thing. Maybe invite
rock?
a rock or like
Yeah.
a piece of a plant. Are those a remnant too, right? If everything is remnant except for Altair, a rock is remnant, right?
How about Rob?
No.
I think Rob's got a lot of remnant. Actually, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob.
No, Rob, that's a bad
I don't
idea.
want you to
Rob,
die.
Rob would
Um,
probably get turned into like some sort of roasted fungus, I'm afraid.
Why are we talking about eating all my friends?
They're not. I'm saying we
What?
shouldn't do that because he will. We shouldn't. Not
Altair,
Roxy.
give me an insight check. Give me an Arcana check, actually.
Give me an Arcana check. Okay.
Give me an Arcana check.
Bullshit.
Think that, yeah, if you invite him in, it'll probably work.
Feeling
Oh,
so
wait.
confident on that too.
Roxy,
Rain's just gonna lay down in the water,
The
waiting for this all to go
vampires
through.
Roxy, do you Roxy, do you trust me?
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to. It's sort of a 50-50 chance taking the text so literally, but I would like to welcome you into this cave. I give you my blessing. I promise that no harm shall come to you. Just follow the exact footsteps that I took upon entering this space.
Okay.
She's gonna walk.
Lava, watch
up
out
toward
for
it.
flying Roxy's.
I'm gonna walk up toward it. I'm
Yeah.
only gonna get to like. I'm not gonna get all the way in, but I'm gonna just walk maybe a few feet forward. I'm gonna look through my little bag of tricks, and
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out one of my little tinkering devices.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out Minnie,
Which
Which
of
is
your
the
childs
little-
are you going to
which
send
of my
us?
children. I think I'm gonna pull out Minnie this time,
Okay.
which is my little mimic that's kind of like on wheels that
Okay.
like chatters because she moves sort of slow. I feel like that's the move here. So I'm gonna.
All right. You've been invited in. Do your best.
So she's just gonna chatter toward the door, and I think she only has a distance of like 5 feet anyway. So I'd get right up to where she would basically just pass through should this work.
Okay.
I believe in you. You can do it.
Time for more shrapnel.
Is this a magical tinkering or is this a gnome thing?
This is.
Is it magical tinkering? From
I believe
Artificer?
it's the. Yeah, sorry.
Like one of your artificer trinkets?
Mhm,
Or it
Yeah,
might be the gnomes have little toys, I thought too.
this is one
Or
of
is that just
the
Christmas?
artificer tinkering. Hold on, let me see what it's called. It's a tinkering feat. You get 3 devices that you can make.
Tinker?
Yeah.
It's gnomes, rock gnomes.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought that was part of the artificer thing. Nifty.
Well, rock gnomes and artificers are like peanut
They're
butter
kinda
and,
like-
and peanut
yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
The device. So this is purely mundane. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up then.
I'm standing
just-
directly behind her, ready to catch her.
Like
Just a
ET
pool of
style.
water.
Just, yeah, just gonna touch what could be a veil.
Oh, okay.
All right, make a dex save.
Okay.
Blast.
Right.
Blast is right.
Oh, no.
Dex save.
Okay.
That's a 19. Oh, I don't
So
know why it
only
rolled twice.
It didn't. That was me.
Oh, okay.
You only take half of this damage, though, luckily, because you saved, so you take 14 damage.
Okay, can I?
13.
I was going to potentially add my bardic inspiration if that's possible.
You already saved, so you don't
That's
need
fair.
to.
That's fair. Okay,
That's the best.
but I still take 14. You said
13.
13. Okay.
And you are thrown back to Keitha, who is ready to catch you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just got shot backward, so
Your face has a bit more soot on it than normal.
yeah,
No.
I'm not happy, but I'm
Apologies,
all right,
apologies.
guess.
I
Fine.
with your blessing,
What if,
Zoons.
what if you held our hand as we walked through, and like brought us through yourself?
What was that last thing you said? Did you say
What if
Zoom?
you-
Zoons.
Zunes. What's that?
It's like it's just a it's an expression of
Expression of-
surprise and alarm.
Oh, okay. It's Zoom to me.
Zunes.
Sorry. We're dealing with very explosive runes. I can't miss anything.
Roxy, seeing Roxy blasted in this way, even though they only took half damage, it is very distressing for Altair. And he hears what Fava says, and if you are any friendly creatures, you can.
Wait, hold on.
I think I might be able to help here. If Roxy and anyone who would like to join hands with Roxy, I will take your hand and perhaps sing us a song. And if they'll allow me, I'll cast Song of Rest on everyone. Everyone regains an extra D6 hit points.
That's as a part of
That's
a
during a
short
rest.
rest, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at the end of the short rest by drat.
It makes
Oh.
short rests a little bit better. It's a great ability.
Could I can't cross the threshold. Can I summon Hanul on the other side? Because it's 15 feet. Can Hanul pop up on the other side of the barrier?
Yeah.
I will swap places.
Okay. You're in.
All right, that's two of us. Oh. All right,
While we're sitting here debating, Fava's gonna come up and give some more healing light to Roxy, because that looks like it
Oh.
hurts.
Yeah, here you go.
Very distinctly not
you.
like avoiding your scarred arm. She's like staying on the other side, but still. So you get
Appreciate it.
10 points of healing.
Nice. Thank you. Thank
I like
you.
how rain is slowly floating down the river like a lazy river.
It's just like, I'm out. Bye, friends.
I'm enjoying some water.
All right, can I try to take Hanul's spear and sort of jam at the runes on the wall to see if I can chip them or break them, or is that not? Are they not visible runes?
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you could deface the rock and erase them. Sure.
Okay, I will definitely do that. I will just slowly chip away, probably damaging my blade a little bit.
At the
Rain-
written runes?
At the runes that Rain said were holding up this arcane.
Oh,
veil.
I
You
didn't
can't
see
see
runes.
those.
I just said it was a magic
Okay,
door.
yeah, that's what I was clarifying.
Sorry,
Okay.
I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about where it said with your blessing.
No. Okay. All right. Does the statue have any removable parts? Roxy, since you're still out there. Is there any, like, stones or gems or sword that you can take out of it? Like a blessing the statue gives to you?
I'm gonna go check it out and see. Maybe.
Give me if you're looking for like physically
Yeah.
interactable parts of the
Shaking it
statue,
around.
then give me an investigation check.
Okay. That would be a 7. A 7.
Yeah, I mean, it appears to be relatively weathered. It's a
Okay.
it's a solid. It looks like it's been carved out of the stone. It's not like that was already here. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like
Right.
someone moved this statue here. You're not finding anything that seems to be
There's nothing. I don't see
interactive.
anything. There's nothing here really that's looks connected. It just kind of looks like a decoration or something. I don't know.
Roxy, maybe try. And he, Altier steps out and then extends his hand. If you'd be willing to try, I'll be able to heal you if this doesn't work, but maybe perhaps taking my hand and allowing me to welcome you into this space physically.
Okay.
Should
know.
I do this as I'm a bit more physically hardy than our small elf friend here? Would you like me to do this in case I get blown up again? I'd rather you not get blown to bits, and I have a bit more, not to metagame, but a bit more HP, about double the HP that you have right now.
Keith, aren't you already inside?
Yeah.
She'll just bamf back out, switching places with Hanul.
Oh.
Okay.
Hannah waves.
How does that help like us get in though? I guess that's where I'm confused now because I thought I was going to hold out Tyr's hand and he was going to try to walk me through, but if you're out here and he walks you through, then you're in again.
I'm the test dummy for this scenario. I'd rather be the test dummy and take the damage than any of you all.
Fair enough.
Since
Okay.
I'm a bit more, sturdy in a sense.
Roxy will take another step back.
And then,
In preparation.
Kate will just hold out her hand, not touching the door before Altier grabs my hand.
Altier extends his hand to Keitha, and
Alright.
as he is going to lead them through, Altier says a very quiet, like under their breath, prayer to them.
Anything in particular? Give me a religion check.
Oh boy. Okay. That is a nat 20.
Wow.
Altier, you've had a moment and you're just kind of like getting in tune with the space and the magical runes here. And you look up at this statue and feel just a little bit of reverence, just the sun, the way it's starting to hit it, because you've been fiddling with this for a while. And you acknowledge it. You kind of just like thank it for allowing you through. You take Keitha's hand and you start to mutter this prayer, and then you find that you're giving the prayer in Celestial. And as you say these words, the rune Rain would see from her floating from her lazy Wait, we lost Rain. What happened?
She has floated away.
Welcome back. Rain has floated away.
I've been here.
As
I floated away.
as you say this prayer aloud in Celestial, Rain would see that the abjuration magic calms, goes dim.
Keitha is like physically tensed up, like so bad, and then just walks through.
Rain's not gonna say anything.
All right.
Then, without knowing why, Keitha, you do not explode.
That did it. Altair is a blessing giver now. Okay,
amazing. So we all
everyone
need to hold
grab
hands.
Altair.
now.
Randall's gonna pick up Fava and just walk through the door.
No.
Wait.
Altair's
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna say the fact that I'm the only one who doesn't have some sort of way to move a little quicker is starting to be noticed. I'm saying
do
it's fine.
you need a blessing to come in too? I can
No,
hold
I'm fine.
hold your hand,
I'm fine. It's fine.
carry you in.
Roxy, do you need a turn in the backpack? You have
No,
to ask
I'm
Rain's permission because it's
I'm
on her
working
back.
on
but-
something. I don't want. She's too cool, Fafa. I'm afraid she won't. I don't think she'll go for
If
it.
you don't come in with a friend, you'll probably blow up. So
Okay.
I hold my hand out.
Grab Altair's
Roxy,
hand.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, but do you require uppies?
Are uppies an option?
Well, I mean, there's my knapsack on my back, which I can move some paraphernalia around and swap some stuff out, and you might be able to.
I'll tell you what, I've got some thoughts, but I didn't want to be presumptuous. We can maybe work on this later. But I have an idea for.
She's working on a rigging for a harness thing that she can stand on potentially, so that it's less like sitting in a bag and more upright. But
We can
Like a
circle
blind?
back.
Sport mode.
We can circle back. But I'm if you're game, I'm game.
There's just the idea of Roxy making a saddle. So when Altair does fly, they're flying
Yeah.
together.
Be
I would
perfect.
like you guys to remind me in 1 year. In 1 year, I want you to say, Grant, remember that thing you wanted to say on episode 3 and didn't? What was that? And I'm going to write it down right now
oh my god!
and screenshot it.
Right.
Because
Well,
it's important for you to know that it was time sensitive.
Oh lord!
bye, Randall.
Yeah, I had a timer
was the
set
moment.
and he's dead.
That was the
No,
moment.
I'm not. I'm joking. I'm
Aw.
joking. Okay. So here's the cool part. As you make this turn, this right turn into this cave, where we are now does not resemble the surface of Skortur whatsoever. But I thought it would be fun if we kind of worked out what under Skortur looked like together. Name of the show is, of course, World Weavers. So we haven't done any weaving in a while since we've been back for break. So that's what I want to do. I lost somebody. Who did I lose?
Michael.
Michael.
Lost Maiko. Okay. So a couple little things I wanted to do as we start to head into. I thought it'd be fun to do this live. Maybe a little bit crunchier than your average actual play, but it's fun, right? It's all fun. That's the point of the show. So I came up with these different pieces of the soul. I'm going to share a document with you all. If you could check that out while I kind of discuss this with our viewers. Now, each of you, as in, Maggie, Emily, Andy, Aaron, you can each be one of these. No two of you can be the same one. So these cannot be shared. And they are going to represent you as a player, as a creator of Kayamia, not as your character. This is not about Rain. This is not about Altair. This is not about Fafa, so to speak. So as we're weaving, I just wanted to sprinkle a little bit of more fun in that and discuss kind of the parts of the soul or the essence of a soul, which is going to be have some impact on how you're weaving everything. So the first option is Moxie. This is the force of character. This is the determination of the soul, the nerve. This is going to be something where your character will gain influence. Anyone that you are piloting, whether that be your main character or if we're faction playing or whatever, but anytime you are playing, you will gain influence for being determined, for getting your way, for not backing down, for going against the flow. Basically, climbing the salmon ladder, so to speak. And you'll see you get some benefits to the actual weaving, which I think would just be fun to bring up as we play, as opposed to reading them right now. Second part of the soul is the mystique. This is the complexity of the individual. It's the part that finds and keeps secrets. You gain influence for gaining information, uncovering secrets, or acting in secret yourself. The third part of the soul is muse. This is the character's or the soul's creativity, the source of artistic endeavors, dreams, innovation. You gain influence for creating and recreating in characters, telling tales, weaving stories, using tools in interesting ways. So when I say creating and recreating, I don't necessarily just mean like stuff, right? Like I don't mean just objects. It can be objects. It can be literally creating and recreating, but it could also be a convention or something as straightforward as a menu at a party or something to that effect, but someone that kind of thrives in creativity. Mirth is joy, so obviously Rain's going to pick that one. Always seeing the lighter side, going with the flow, and you gain influence for encouraging, for remaining positive, for being kind of like that light in the darkness.
Yeah, it's Rain.
Yeah.
I was going to say rain is magnetism.
Memory is the other option. Learning from your past lives, what remains, gain influence for interactions with the undoing, the pale Kayamia's history. So basically, the undoing, as we know, is the beginning of the recording of history as you know it, when there are many legends, many rumors as to what exactly happened there. But this is going to be something where anything before that, anything that's yet to be created, any deep historical secrets are going to give you more power. Then there's magnetism, attraction, romance, charisma, the soul's ability to bring people together. You gain influence by recruiting allies, swaying opinions, and making people like you. Lastly, there's moderation, the balance of the soul, weighing of the scales. You gain influence for remaining pragmatic, for balance, for diplomacy, compromise, kind of continuing the status quo. Now, you each have to pick one, and none of you can be the same one, and there will be some that are left out. So,
and it's that one forever, right?
And it's that one for as long as we weave, unless
okay, just clarify.
Right, something were to occur to the counter, or there was like a major change or something to that effect. But
yeah. Okay, so do we want to go top down, Roxy, and then Fava, and then Altair, and then Rain, and then me?
However
Maggie,
you'd like to
Emily,
discuss.
Dan.
We could also roll for it, and whoever rolls highest, everyone roll a d20. Whoever rolls highest gets to pick first, and then arguments ensue.
Oh,
what a moderation thing to say, Emily.
Play.
Yeah, how moderate of you.
Yeah, I think that's
what?
Fava's already picked.
How balanced. Well, let's see if there's any overlap before we start getting gamey about it.
Okay. So
what are you guys thinking?
I was going to advocate for moderation for myself.
I was going to advocate for Muse.
Okay.
I kind of liked Moxie.
Moxie, Roxy. Yep, that tracks.
Kind of love that.
What are you going for, Andy?
What is a chaos roll?
A chaos roll is when we are weaving. We have not done this yet, but I have created a chart of a D100. And when we're weaving something that is not the world map, so for example, what we're about to do, I roll a D100. And it's to inject chaos. That's what I'm the chaotic part of the soul. I don't have an M word. Madness. But it could be...
There we go.
Yep.
It could for mayhem. There you go.
Mayhem.
Hell yeah. Whoever said that.
Good pull.
It could be, for example, I will whisper one of you and say, you are everything that you weave without getting caught or called out needs to serve the interests of like the North or something to that effect. Or it could be like, I'm going to monkey paw every fucking thing you guys say, which I do a lot anyways, but like really monkey paw it.
I don't think that needs a table entry. I think that's just sort of a table rule.
Or it could be something where I would whisper, I'd roll it and it would be, okay, player 2, and then I'd whisper, say Emily and be like, hey, be as difficult as fucking possible without getting called out, right? So the chaos roll is basically a way to fuck with weaving. It's the simplest way to say it.
Gotcha.
So there are ways in this for you all to make me fuck with you less.
Okay. So we have memory, moderation, moxie, muse.
So are you wanting memory then?
Yes, because my whole thing is that Hanwell is literally a collection of sentient memories.
One more question.
Yeah.
I'm fine with all these. For magnetism, it just says you can spend all your influence. Is there supposed to be something after that?
Yeah.
You can just spend all your influence.
You can just spend it.
You can spend it. Yeah.
Enjoy.
You can spend all of it. Okay.
It's my little present to you.
Let me.
I like how that insinuates that the rest of us can't. Like, we can only
No.
I figured there was a continuation to the sentence that's just missing, and I was just like, listen.
Right now, all I know is that I already have 1d6 influence points. Correct?
Is that from your poem?
Yes, I think that's
Yes.
what we talked about last time, because you guys don't do inspiration of any kind. So it's
So you gotta roll a d6.
yeah. So I'll roll a d6 when the time comes.
So
I think I'm gonna do Mystique anyways, just because I constantly want to know things and then lie to people.
well, if no one's fucking with magnetism, I won't.
Well, I want to know what that is, because that might sway it.
Yeah.
Sure. For you.
What is it for you?
Oh, Grant, I was just thinking, as part of your mayhem, as part of your chaos,
Yeah.
if there is ever a moment where you feel like somebody does something that goes against, not against, but it's like an extreme of something, you can roll on the chaos table and say, okay, next world weaving, you can't roll as, I'm using myself as an example, muse. You have to roll as memory.
That's an excellent set of
because it sort of injects chaos, but also it not forces, but it makes a person weave differently.
Yeah.
And suddenly we have something we didn't have before. And if somebody is already playing memory, then suddenly you get more memory.
Yeah.
I like that.
You can spend all of your influence to change the opinion of a creature.
Hey, don't
you
read the
are.
effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are secret. Those are special surprises that'll be a lot of fun later. Or what's that quote?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The Mickey Mouse one. It's a special surprise.
That's a special surprise for later.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what else is a special surprise? Our 10% off code for fanrolldice.com.
Yeah.
Use code homebrew. Go get yourself some lovely dice as we're typing things up, doing our weaving
Love
thing.
this. The
Go
subtlety,
and
the
do that.
artistry of it all.
S tier plug.
And we don't, I may be moderation, but we don't believe in moderation in the quantity of dice you have. So go buy yourself some dice. Code
Absolutely.
homebrew.
We
Zing.
encourage the birth of dice goblins.
Let us be your muse for the purchasing of more dice.
Yes, exactly.
We support you.
We support your dice addiction.
Yes.
All right.
It's a hard one. I think I'm going to stick with Mystique, just because I'm so bad with secrets. I'd like to go against what I usually am bad with. Go out of the box.
Okay.
Discover I'm really good at it. I'll regret it.
I'll regret it.
So Rain's soul is heavy with Mystique. Roxy's soul is heavy with Moxie.
Moxie.
So think of this almost like your character's like astrological sign, almost, is how I would describe that.
Ooh, I
Oh,
like
no, I
that.
kind
I
of do
love
want to
that
go with
so much.
Mirth, just because it's so the opposite.
You always see the light. It sort of fits. Like, you can always see the lighter side. It doesn't mean that you...
God, you're such a
Actually
muse out there.
through.
It's like, you don't follow through.
I was encouraging. No, I'll stick with Mystique. But it's just funny.
Now, what did you select, Fava?
I chose moderation.
That sounded like, I'm sorry, that sounded like a Dare ad for back in the I chose moderation.
I chose moderation.
Cheesy, like, medicine music in place.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, if you could copy your sign, the piece of your soul, so to speak,
Okay.
and pop it into your character sheet so that you have access
Oh.
to it.
Alrighty.
Done.
I'm gonna put it in the
Grab my character
biography.
sheet.
Yeah,
For a
I'm doing
moment.
biography.
Cheers. I'll just never look at it.
This would be under flaws, right? That's
Depends how you use it.
I mean,
I couldn't resist.
memory would be under my flaws.
Sorry.
I have the attention span of a goldfish and a memory capacity of even less.
Features and
Wow.
traits.
Appearance.
Now,
What
if
are my
everyone
deals?
could give me an initiative roll.
I heard initiative, my brain immediately switched to combat mode, and I'm like, what? Are we fighting something?
No. Actually, just give me a 1d20. There's no initiative in weaving, so just roll a d20.
Gotcha.
I got a 10.
I got a
I'm
14.
so bad with the commands. What's the commands for Foundry again? I
Slash
should
roll
really
1d20.
Slash roll 1d20. I should really memorize this. Wow. Okay, I got a 1.
That's not it.
Starting off strong.
We're doing initiative, you said?
Just a
a-
1d20. So you got a 6.
The heck?
I think I'm just missing Roxy.
My bad. Why is
So are we
it
going
not-
like ranking mode where like the lower the number, the higher rank you are? Or are we going like...
We'll find out.
It's like not letting me do my
Mine
little
won't
commands.
Copy paste. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
That we're-
That
I'm doing boss music with my drumming.
you're doing fabulous.
Thanks.
Also, apologies to anyone watching. I just realized my camera's a bit choppy. So sorry if that's giving anyone motion issues.
No,
But my poor old MacBook. I made
You're
the
close.
sad mistake.
Just
I know, I
no
know.
space. Slash roll.
and that's what I had.
The
and it
space needs
must
to be between the
There you go.
L and the 1.
in the L and the 1 and the girl.
Woo,
It's a
there you
4.
go.
It's
Yay.
a 4.
Beautiful. So,
That's just that moxie showing, you know. Never
Roxy.
gonna
Mhm.
stop. Never
Mhm.
gonna stop.
And then everyone roll 1d6 for your starting influence, except for Altair. Please roll 2d6.
So are we
Two.
losing the influence we had from before the break?
We do have 2 new people, so I feel like I should make you restart.
Mm.
How do you feel?
So
I saved so much.
How much we talking?
I've got
I-
10.
I have 14 influence.
Can they roll 2d6?
Yeah, can we
Oh.
just...
And
Like a base
Altair
start?
roll 3?
I like that. Give them more and let us keep ours.
So I'll roll 3d6.
I guess
then?
it's all the same then. So
It
you
makes me
had
feel good about it, though.
You could
So
just
you
start us where we're at and give us what we just rolled.
10,
I mean,
10,
you know,
14 plus 1d6. Altair got 2d6. I'm going to give them... so, Keitha and Altair, you both get 10 additional.
So, I have 14 total.
Influence. You have 14 total.
Thumbs up.
Sorry, 10 plus your 1d6. Altair, you get 10 plus your 2d6. And then Rainfeather Roxy, you get 1d6 on top of what you already had.
Sweet. Okay.
Everyone all influenced up and ready to go?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I am excited for weaving.
All right. Let's see.
My first weaving on the World Weaving Podcast.
The first weaving on the Weaving Podcast.
Is that the chaos roll?
That's the chaos roll.
I want to know what it is. Ooh.
Are you using it? You doing it right away?
Yeah.
Will you read all of our wonderful listeners?
What am I reading?
What your ability is, your mystique ability.
Oh, my mystique is I can spend half of my influence points to know what the chaos roll is, and then I can share it as I see fit. Which means I don't have to tell the truth if I don't want to.
Oh, you can also decide. I shouldn't say that. Can I say the second part of it?
No, that's for Andy to share.
Okay.
Yes. Also, I just said all of it. I can share. I don't have to tell the truth.
Can you all see that?
Do I round up or round down? Where am I looking?
I see where it looks like I had rolled something
Yeah.
that I didn't. But it looks like I did.
Anything you might have sent me, Grant, I do not see. Oh, there you go. I see that.
Can everyone else see that?
No.
I can see the number. I can't see what it actually is, though. I can see that it says 48, but I do not know what 48 means.
Oh.
I can see trident.
I accidentally clicked on my sheet.
Oh,
So
okay.
that has nothing to do with it. Grant's still
Everyone
typing.
is hit by 48 tridents.
That's actually what it is.
Rain summons the trident to the core of the
If I
planet,
disagree
and the planet
with what you weave, you just get hit with a trident.
You shouldn't have held hands walking in.
But this is in real life, right? Like, not even our characters, just a
Mhm.
trident will appear out of the ether.
Just whack.
Mhm.
Yep.
This
Not stab,
pleases
just-
Andy.
No. Just
Like a paddle.
Yep.
Just makes me think of that
Aquaman
SNL
style,
skit
just-
where Pierce Brosnan is interviewing for a job and Will Ferrell plays the terrible boss. Does anyone
I don't think I've
know?
seen that
Into
one.
that one.
Grant,
Oh
do I
my
roll?
God.
Are we rounding up or down? Like for half? Because I have 13.
Round up for your influence.
So I'd go down to 6 for half?
Or wait, no, I
Rounding
want
up?
it to be better for you. So you
Okay,
go
so-
down to 7.
Okay. Thank you.
Are we
And-
saying what we currently have then?
For influence points?
I now have
Yeah.
7.
We usually,
I have
so
14.
unless Grant chooses to do it differently, we have started weaving sessions going around saying what we've had.
Have we?
That's what I remember. Because I always had to tell you guys how much I had.
I think I will say it's up to you if you'd like to
Okay.
share or if you'd like to keep it close to your chest. Just like
I have 4 billion influence.
right. I think it's totally up to
Right.
you all. And there I do for anyone who's new to World Weavers or anyone who's just with us weaving for the first time, this is not meant to be, while this is supposed to be collaborative and it's going to be beautiful, I personally believe with all of my heart that some of the most creative and collaborative things come from dissonance, creative dissonance. And I very much think that heads need to butt and that people need to go against the flow. So I am here to keep things a little bit chaotic, and I don't want you all to just like come up with something everyone likes every time, which is how we got some of our craziest, most amazing things that we have.
Rackadillos.
So, exactly. So I have sent Rain information on
Rain loves this chaos.
what chaos is occurring. And that's what you get, is that Rain loves it. And we are taking this right turn. And then before us, I'd like you to describe this kind of like topmost layer of what's under Skortur. And that's going to be starting with Rain. Is this are the tunnel. And again, you can always say, fuck you, I'm going to talk about something else. There are rock monkeys down here. You can always say fuck you.
Well, I mean,
rock monkeys.
So what I imagine is like, what is the first thing we see? Is this like a bridge over this like endlessly dark chasm? Are the ceilings like unnaturally like high? Are these tight winding caverns? What's kind of like the general makeup of the underneath here?
I think when we first get in, it's actually a pretty big, huge open area with the ceiling reaching pretty much to, like, under where we were walking. So we came down a pretty steep incline. So as we go in, the ceilings reach out. So it's a huge open area. But that quickly filters off into smaller tunnels. So while this first area is big and open, it quickly goes into much more tight areas that go who knows where.
How tight we talking? We talking like, you know what I mean? Like cave divers who have to like squeeze through?
We're not spelunking, but I think like the majority are like single file. Maybe some going to like walking shoulder to shoulder, but I don't think there's too many that are much bigger than that.
And then remind me, what are the influence point costs for stepping in on something?
So you spend an influence point to say, I don't want that. It's upside down and in Kool-Aid, right?
Gotcha.
Or you can okay but it, so to speak, where you can say, okay, you know, it's tight, but there's also worms. So
Gotcha.
If then...
But that incurs an influence point expenditure.
Yeah, you do have to spend an influence point in order to okay but or to change something. Rain can contest, though, and say, nope, I don't like that. In which point we enter into an influence contest. And then everybody gets to pitch in. They can vote spending their influence, and they will whisper me what they want to spend, and then I will tally up the votes, and the winner of the votes wins.
Okay.
So currently, just so that we understand, Rain has illustrated there is you see just an open area and then just a large, like tons of tunnels that go everywhere.
Yeah, so large, open, high-ceilinged, dark areas that are connected by the majority of these tunnels are tight, kind of single-file, winding tunnels.
Think like ant system, like big open
So
thing.
it's like a honeycomb,
tunnels,
like
big.
all the walls are just sort of honeycombed with these tight tunnels.
Yeah, I see them all being like ground level. Like I don't see like
I would
bees
like to
up
spend
on the
an
ceiling.
influence.
But
Not the bees!
Rock bees.
Spend an influence too, and yes, and the tunnels, the tight tunnels, gradually get larger and wider and bigger the farther down you go. Like they're single file, and then a couple more 100 feet down, you could probably walk 3 by 3. A couple more 100 feet down, you could fit an entire party, until it eventually reverses, kind of, and you're walking along narrow paths of stone, like bridges, across huge chasms. And then eventually it just gets to the point where it's just seemingly void at the bottom. So it's like an almost root structure where it's thin at the bottom, but then the ground intertwines and laces together towards the top until it forms the solid top.
you lost me with the root
I
thing because
don't
you were saying smaller to larger and roots are larger to smaller. I'm
The
super lost.
The solid paths are smaller at the bottom, and it's just like bridges across chasms. But the farther up you go, then the bigger the bridges become until it reverses and becomes small tunnels rather than small bridges. Like instead of a small space in solid stone, at the bottom it would be solid stone in an empty place.
So almost
you're
like
talking
the
about
walking paths never change. It's just the space around it that either
It's the space
increases or
around
gets
you.
tightened. But it's
Exactly.
technically the same amount everywhere.
So basically, halfway through, you basically lose the walls and start gaining just like pit of death.
Exactly. Yeah. The farther down you go, the more it becomes a balancing act.
Chasms. Oh boy! All right. I
That
did not
sounds
even
scary.
picture all of these declining. So you see all of these paths doing this, and all of them going down.
Anything the farther you go down, like eventually you would reach a point where there's just no ground to go further, and it's just a bottomless seeming pit. And when you reach the very bottom, that is my yes and. It would still be tight tunnels for like the first couple, probably half a mile into the ground.
I don't like the whole going down into a pit thing.
Yeah, that's intimidating. Pits are always intimidating.
Grant,
Yeah.
is it possible to yes and the yes and or but
After
the
we
yes
resolve this, so first Andy gets to say whether or not she accepts.
I do not accept.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is we're going to go into a contest, and now you're open to negotiate Altir. So you could say, well, what if we did this? Do both of you agree? So to speak. You're more than welcome to. Welcome back, Emily.
Thanks.
You're more than welcome to offer in there.
I could also illustrate my point to make it a bit more clear.
I understand it. I just don't want
No, this is
a path going into an endless pit. No.
So, what is in discussion now is the whatever we're calling this place. I have been calling it the Underscar. I know that's a little cringy, but that's what it's called in my head right now.
I like it.
Well, Emily likes this. That's it. So, if you come up with a name for it while we're doing it, then
I'm going to yes, but that.
then go ahead and pitch in a name. But what is in contest now is going to be more of a walls versus not walls, I think is the way to say it. As you go deeper, are these tight walled spaces, or are these a series of kind of bridges over a void? If you would like to vote, the winners of the contest have to spend their influence. So if you would like to vote, let me stop sharing my screen just in case. I don't think you guys can see that. But
Yeah, I can't see it.
if you would like to spend influence on void, then please whisper me a void and a number of how much influence you're willing to spend on that. If you would like to vote walls, then please vote rails. Whatever. Safety. If you'd like to vote rails, then whisper me walls and a number. And I'll tally up the votes.
You do realize that this is going to make our personal DMs to you very odd. Rails 2.
That is between you and whoever is reading your DMs.
And we're just sending these in the private role thing to you, though, right, Grant?
You can whisper
And
me on
Audrey?
Discord if it's easier for you. However you want to get them to me.
I'm sending it to you via just our personal chat. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll have to open up Discord real quick.
Okay.
And I would like to say, once it gets to Void, there's no pillars holding up the world. It's just Void as far as you can. Like, there's not any pillars.
Save that for your turn. You can always add stuff in. Because, like I said,
Changing your thing, Michael.
if you have an idea, you don't have to listen to my prompt. That's always one thing I'm going to
Gotcha.
repeat. I give you a prompt. You can always be like, I want to talk about the giant waterfall to nowhere, or I want to talk about the rock bees, or I want to talk about the bioluminescent fungus down here.
Rock Bees. Great name for a band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Discord
votes
is
are coming
taking its
in.
Sweet time. Okay. Oh, my poor computer.
And you all said a different word, so my brain is... Okay.
I mean, I feel like in our defense, many words were thrown out.
It's true.
Yes.
There were many words.
Many words.
So many words.
Void of nothingness, where we shall all die. Because pushing is a bonus action.
A pit of despair.
Pushing is a
Only
bonus
to go
action
to
in
me.
World
I
Weavers.
forgot about that.
Don't even think.
It's very, very close. Does anyone have anything for contests that they want to do before I reveal? I'm trying to remember.
So the difference is we're talking about cohesive tunnels as opposed to not cohesive tunnels.
We're
Yep.
talking about
Tunnels that
walls
get-
on the sides of the tunnels versus not walls, and you could just fall off to a pit of despair.
Yeah.
The tunnels
At a certain
gradually
point,
get
walls
bigger and
cease to
bigger
exist.
until there's no ground left. Like the actual tunnels grow, sort of like if you melt a hole in something, the hole will continue to grow until it hits the edges, and then there's just no more of the material left.
The
Like
path
the
is always like a single person wide, and sometimes there's walls, and then there just stops being walls, is what Micah
Yeah.
wants. And
Yeah.
you could just fall off the path into the pit of despair.
But
And
we're
what creatures live
underground, which means that there are always walls.
Not
It's
until there's not.
in a fantasy world.
Until there's not
Okay.
is basically what we're saying.
We're
I can
under.
Photoshop
No. Like unless we're falling into the the space. Unless we're falling into space, unless we're falling out of the world, out of the bean, then yeah, there are always going to be walls.
Well, no, it's like picture
How
like
long
did you
before
see
you
the
hit the wall? I
did
guess
you
is
see the
question.
D&D movie like where they walk along that like like rock bridge? Yes, there's walls all the
Sure,
way out,
okay.
but they could fall off and go
Yeah, that's
hundreds
exactly
of feet
what I'm
down
talking
to
about.
death.
on
Got
one
it.
of those walls. Yeah.
So Micah wants fall to death. I want
Yeah.
always walls. Or almost
Yes.
always walls.
well, when you put it like that.
Well, when you put it like that, you can campaign too. You can.
That's me campaigning.
That's me campaigning.
I believe it was Mark Twain who said no.
I mean, is there room? So that's moderation speaking here. What tunnels are different? Like they lead to different things. I think it's fair to say that some can lead into a cavernous area that then drops off a little bit, and most stay really thin.
Have any of you ever seen a river delta? That thing where it just branches off into tinier and tinier paths before it hits ocean? Think that, but vertical, where like the ocean is the void, and the tunnels get like there's more and more land for tunnels to be in the farther you go up. It's like a river delta, but vertical. And
That's
there's
still
just void
scary.
bottom.
That's still scary.
It's the whole pit of death.
Yeah.
There's it has nothing to do with the tunnels.
My question initially when the tunnels were first posed, I know, Andy, you said it was sort of like think ant farm, like that sort of building out. Are any of these tunnels, are they all devised in such a way that you would remain upright walking, or are any of them like you would have to be like crawling on your belly at points, or
Backroom slides.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
can do any
weave
of them
that
go
far.
vertical?
I just weaved that this is one cavern with tunnels going off to it, theoretically to other caverns at some point,
Okay.
maybe not.
Very
So there could be some smaller tunnels,
Many
there could be some
specific
bigger. Mine just
So I
have
guess-
walls.
So, clarification point for this voting then.
Yeah.
What Andy had not yet established what's at the end of these tunnels.
Sure. We don't know. what's at
Aaron
the end of
is
the
establishing what's at the end of these tunnels. So we are essentially voting on, is this what we want at the end of the tunnel, or do we want to leave that an open, unweaved place? Yeah?
I think the ultimate thing that we're voting is as we get deeper, are the majority of the passages tight tunnels, or are the majority of the passages bridges over chasms? That's essentially what we're
Okay.
moving. I think we know what's at the top,
Mhm.
and the butt is as the underscar goes deeper, you get into deeper layers of the underscar.
Suddenly we have the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
saying. I'm not even
Yeah.
saying that's right. I'm not even saying that there's not going to be tunnels just because they're mostly chasm. I'm talking about the majority of the layout.
Gotcha.
Are these going to be winding layers of chasm, bridges over chasms, or are these going to be more claustrophobic or fear of heights? Is what you're picking.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. So the votes are in, and shockingly close, but walls win.
Dang it. Oh well.
So then those who voted for walls,
Those
spend
who
their
voted
influence?
walls, rails, or safety are the 3 words I got. Subtract that influence from yours.
Okay.
And that's going to, unless anyone else has any other comments on the upper layer general makeup, then I'm going to move on. Going once, going twice, go. Fava.
Is it possible for me
Oh.
to make an amendment to? It's not really an amendment in so much as it's more of an aesthetic adjustment to Rain's.
I mean, I gave 0 aesthetics, so.
Yeah, I might save that for your turn if you have an idea
Okay.
what you want it to
Yeah,
look
I'll do
like.
that. Yeah.
What you can do is you can take my prompt and then you can wipe your butt with it and throw it away, and then say whatever you want.
I plan to.
That's the beauty of all of this. So, Fava, what I wanted to ask next is how many entrances are there to this underworld, and how often do they occur kind of throughout Skortur? How many ways are there to get here? Is this somewhere where there's like a whole continent under the continent? Or is this, did you just find the entrance?
I certainly think there's more than one. This is the similar thinking to like an anthill. This is probably the main entrance, and then there are smaller. It's not widely known, so there aren't a ton of entrances everywhere, but there are a couple more smaller ones scattered throughout.
How would one find access to one of these smaller entrances? Can you think of like maybe an example? Is this something where you're going to have to go digging, excavating, a random rockadillo burrows under you and you fall into the...
Yeah, so I think at least 2 of them are essentially sand traps of you gotta know where they are if you want to intentionally go down, otherwise you're just gonna fall in. Or like there are the spiders that will like cover themselves up and cover their burrow in sand so that they can then jump out. It's kind of like that where there is intentionally this kind of sand covering where if you're looking for it, you wouldn't be able to see it unless you know where it is or unless you accidentally fall into it. And then other ones are like very strategically placed in the shadows of large rocks. So it looks like just a shadow on the ground when it's actually a cave entrance.
Beautiful. Altair.
I'm next, really?
You rolled a 6
I rolled a 6.
against Roxy's 4 and Keith's 1.
Okay. All right. So the tunnels themselves, aside from the celestial writing that you see in the entrance and of course on the statue, throughout this cave system, there's 2. One is a technological feature. So I believe that there is a part of the muse speciality. My influence counts as 2 times. Whenever weaving anything to do with arts, inventions, or technology levels, once per weaving. So, knowing that, I'm going to say that the throughout the tunnel system, there is what looks to be the remains of an ancient mycelium network, mushroom network, that glows in the dark. And but every so feet, if we're carefully looking, it seems that the things that are allowing, sort of like how when you hold a glow stick up to light, it will glow brighter. The mycelium network glows is sort of a natural property that it has, but the light that or where it's getting the light from are these celestial runes that are interspersing the tunnels. And they're sort of like the mycelium network has grown over them, but the runes are still shining.
That's beautiful. I will tell you why someday. You weren't here for when the mushrooms killed everyone, so it just has some funny implications that there's celestial runes there.
This is like that. This is like that silly meme
That's all I
prompt
can
where
think
where you basically are like, read the first 2 sentences of a book and then add, and then the dragons came.
Right.
You did that.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times, and then the mushrooms came.
And the gods brought the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Great.
That is beautiful. I'm like visualizing these
That is
veins
terrifying.
with these runes glowing. Is there any color?
They change in color from sort of a bright, sort of a very warm yellow light, like almost more of a golden yellow light, to like this fierce, fiery blue.
And are we talking like
Nope, we're not.
We're not
we'll
talking.
never know.
surprise? I'm leaving you in suspense. Are we talking like the Last of Us type of mycelium? That's like I don't even know.
So
how to
actually,
describe it.
no.
But like, yeah,
so
but like stringy.
it's not. It's more like when in the Lord of the Rings. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was in the Fellowship of the Ring. In the Fellowship of the Ring, the extended edition. There's a scene where they're walking and they hold the light up, and you see like the mithril glow, and you see it like yes.
Oh, so it's almost like built into the walls as opposed to something being on it.
So the runes itself are the things that are built in.
Yeah.
They're sort of the technological side of the thing.
Yes.
The mycelium is just grown out, but it also looks like it was at one time perhaps grown in certain areas so that it would eventually grow out, forming this illumination system.
Oh, so there's like hubs where the mycelium originated that then grew out throughout the tunnels.
So the reason that I had this idea was because back, I don't remember what year it was fairly recently, I feel, but in Japan, they used, I think it was mushrooms, to basically figure out how they wanted their subway system to work.
Yeah, that's
basically
my favorite fact.
The mycelium basically found the most ideal way to go from one point to another point. Yeah. And it's sort of like that, where the runes act as a way of sort of like allowing things to like grow at like a hyper level, and then the mycelium do what they do.
They do
sort
what
of
they
naturally. Do. Yeah.
Love.
Okay.
I feel like I've been
incredible. I love it so much.
I feel like I've been yes-anding a lot, even though I've only done what I would like
there's
to yes
no
and.
such thing. Take that thought and put it in the garbage.
I would like to yes and change the runes to actual like physical material, not just like writing or like little like inscriptions or like essence, but like actual physical ore or mineral or object or just straight up artifact that are just buried or a part of the stone that are causing this, rather than just like a little bit of essence or runes. Like something that's mineable, something that's harvestable.
I want to say no. This is something that is and Grant, you can please feel free to step in on this. It's something that I don't think I'll need you for this specifically. It's one of those things where, because you've already said that on this world, magic and the arcane is something that is born of remnant. Mm-hmm. But given the reason I'm having this idea now is that all of these celestial, the reason that they're runes is because they're taken from something that is not born of remnant.
Gotcha. Okay.
and it is something that is very foreign to anybody who might be a magic user. And so you guys are potentially seeing something for the first time that you haven't ever encountered before.
Gotcha. I'm not going to be contesting that. I'm not going to be fighting for it. Do I still have to spend that 1?
No, I guess we can submit. You can run away and you can tuck your tail behind your legs.
No, I just genuinely love that reasoning, and I think it's better than my idea.
All right.
So.
Then, beautiful. We have celestial runes and fungus that has grown throughout all of these tunnels.
It is interesting, though, because it's growing underground, whereas it doesn't necessarily seem like anything celestial. Well, I don't know.
I mean, there's already the celestial
that's
writing
kind of
on
the
the wall.
beauty of mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Like something punched the earth. Maybe the. That's my turn.
I mean, that's
my
the
turn
rumor.
stuff.
We actually haven't confirmed that. That is a rumor that was thrown out.
Or maybe the people who inhabited the planet. Oh, this might be going too far. I don't know. Maybe the people that were inhabiting.
I'm gonna pause you.
Okay.
So Altier, I do
Future
want to
anything.
know. Let's say a percentage, because we haven't really established how deep this goes. We know it goes deep. We've already said like miles, but percentage-wise, how deep does this mycelium go?
It has never been charted before.
Great answer.
It is, yeah. Like so many things that exist in nature, we don't actually know how far anything really goes. Whether it's the deepest portion of the ocean or you are exploring the Amazon rainforest. There are just certain things that we are never going to possibly uncover.
Beautiful. Roxy. Other than the apparent insectoid creature that you run into, and hypothetically the Ankeg, if you are to believe that this is where it went.
Okay.
What's something else that might live down here?
I think I love this like bioluminescent thing, and I kind of had wanted to play off of that also. So I think that especially in the areas where you find a lot of those mushroom systems, there are little creatures that are common to underground cave systems, be they little rodents or little worms or, amphibians, what have you. But they have started to ingest these things and have taken on a little bit of that glow themselves. So you might be in an area of the cave that doesn't have a lot of those mushrooms, but then see a little glowing creature skitter past you because just up ahead there's a whole bunch, and that's actually where it's trying to get to.
Beautiful.
A little
Now, are we
glowing
talking,
mouse.
like-
Stop.
Are we
Can't even-
talking like sparse animals or like Avatar level entire glowing ecosystem levels?
I think it depends on like how dense the mycelium in that area is. If it's an area that has a lot of mushrooms and a lot of animals have found that to be a safe place, maybe there's also water there, what have you, then yeah, there would be a ton of creatures around. If it's a little more sparse, just here or there, you might just see like, again, one or two little, bugs or lizards or something scattered.
Small question for clarification.
Okay.
Because we did previously weave that on Skortur, the only creatures that exist are the Rockadillo and the bug.
Mm-hmm.
So is
But
this
we're-
not considered Skortur
But we-
anymore?
Technically, we're under Skortur.
That's why I'm asking. Because we
That's
we
my
weaved that
thought.
specifically on Skortur. There were
Yeah,
no
I thought
creatures.
on was these are the things we have seen on land, where the what you just said. I'm thinking underneath there could be, because if it's a big desert plain, most of the creatures would go underneath and underground to live because that would be cooler. There'd be more water access. That's kind of my thought. So I feel like we could see creatures under here that you probably wouldn't see above land just because it's safer and there's more resources for them.
Mentally, I'm treating this like a different area.
Different
so
area. Okay.
Oh.
This is
And
not
then
me
there's
going
that.
against it. It was just me clarifying of
And then there's that. Yeah.
previous weaving.
I was considering, and I think it's just a different. There's a loading screen before.
Nice.
Yeah, I dig it.
So we've got glowing rodents, which you can follow the little glowing guys to
Right.
heavy sources of mycelium, which hypothetically, if this is something that's been grown, would mean a lot of tunnels converging. So
Could be.
it's almost like your little crossroads. You can follow the little rats to the little crossroads
Yeah.
of tunnels.
Mhm.
Sorry if I'm taking that somewhere you didn't mean.
No, love
the
all that.
effect of it is,
I love the idea of just seeing little glowing creatures running around in places where you're like, what? What is that? And then, oh, okay.
especially when you're in the pitch black and there's chasm tunnel. Wait,
Exact-
no, there no chasms. We said no
No
chasms.
chasms.
No,
I mean, maybe some chasms, but not
Some
the
chasms.
majority of chasms.
Some chasms.
there's not
um,
just void for floor, sadly.
Right.
Sadly. Keitha.
All right.
You don't need me. You don't need no prompts. Let's hear
Sorry,
it. Let's
I
go.
have.
No, I
ideas.
love it.
So in areas where there's a significant visual absence of runes or mycelium, places where that isn't present, things start to get like weird. Like there's like gray fog everywhere, or like it gets hard to see, or things start taking unnaturally geometric or unnaturally smooth characteristics. Like a tunnel will look like it's made out of polygons, or it'll look like a mirror polished tube. And it's just this general sense of like static noise and unease that's kind of in these places where the runes aren't present, or where you see runes have faded or gone away or like died out. And the mycelium like distinctly avoids these areas, and any plant life you see in there is like slate gray. Stuff can still live there, but it is slate gray. There is no color, no bioluminescence, no nothing. It's like these pitch black, almost like blackout pockets scattered throughout the place where it's just died out. And the closer you get to the scar, the more calm they are.
I love that with the chaos roll. Just throwing that out there.
Oh no.
I've loved a few things with the chaos roll. I keep looking at you, Andy. I'm like, she can't see me looking at her. We're like looking at a screen, but I'm like,
I kind of know. So some of those faces are like,
Yeah.
Oh,
So
my
yeah, that is
goodness.
my contribution. Little like blackout zones where the reality gets a bit weird.
love it.
Things seem longer, things seem shorter, gravity gets weird, stuff like that. Stuff where it's like stuff doesn't quite line up, and it's pitch black and light doesn't do well.
Time is a weird soup.
I love that with memory, with the piece of your soul.
Yep,
just
that's what I'm going for.
Absolutely chef's kiss. So here's a fun thing we've never done before. I'm always coming at you guys. Think fast. Think fast. I've never done this before, but we have to stop. So you actually are going to get 2 fucking weeks to think about your next weaving round. So God knows what happens when you have all of this time to think about it. But we are going to stop here, and we're going to continue weaving the underscar in 2 weeks when we come back. Because I'm not done. I want more. I want more of this. Again, please come up with a name, because I don't want to call it the skid mark or whatever I've been saying. But let's, once we come up with a name for it, I will use that. It's underscar in my notes. That's why I keep saying it. But I'm not married to that name
It's
at all.
the underlight.
Like that. And sorry you have to keep the secret for 2 weeks, Andy. Now you know the life of the DM. I'm always
that
keeping
gives you
secrets
so
all the
much time to plan
That's true.
gosh.
That's
going
what,
into it.
That's what Mystique is for, right? Like the tactics, the strategy, the shadows, the whispers.
This place is going to be horrible. I'm so excited.
Excellent work to our new friends, Aaron and Andy too. I think that was excellent for your first time weaving, and I love this part of the
Thank
show.
you.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
So only a couple people exploded, and excellent weaving started. I am very happy with our session. Thank you, everyone who's watching, everyone who's listening. If you're listening on the podcast, if you could go to actualplaypods.com, and that has just a plethora of links for you. You can get links to our Discord. It's the best Discord. No cap, as the kids say. It is absolutely the best Discord that exists.
That's definitely
no cap,
something people my age say. Yep, you nailed it.
It's fire.
It's
You know.
Oh,
it is
Totes adorbs.
sick. The other stuff you can get is links to our other shows, so you can catch Andy on Power Word Fail. You can catch Fava Emily on the Homebrew. There's also a pirate show. We have Sanity Damage, which is really fun. We have a lot of shows. We publish a lot of content. We publish I'm not exaggerating, 7 hours of free content a week or something stupid. So check that out, actualplaypods.com.
Not to mention our TikTok.
Not to mention our TikTok. Yeah. Also, I forget that we're on YouTube. I forget we're on social media, but our social media is linked on actualplaypods.com. And you can take a little trip south to the subscribe button right around, probably, where am I pointing? Here-ish. And you can hit the subscribe button and you can ding the little bell, and that helps us out so much. So do that. Longest outro of all time. Only show I don't have my outro written down for, which means I start rambling.
Could I just
You're
make it
weaving outro
slightly longer?
Slightly longer. Go ahead.
I would like to share, since I don't think we're going to get to do it, because it was supposed, I realized I wanted to have it happen when we were either just waking up or it was still nighttime.
Oh, it's poem time.
Yes, it is poem time with Altier. Rain, feel free to log off. It's not important.
No, she needs to hear it. And
She will do it.
Bye. Spend an influence point.
I'd like to contest you
send an
doing this.
influence point to delete the poem.
I'm joking.
Yes, and your poem does not exist.
Okay, here we go. In Kyamia's night, where dreams take flight, 2 silver moons in soft celestial light. They dance in the heavens, a radiant pair, guiding the way with a gentle cosmic glare. Their shimmering glow a mystical sight, reflecting on waters a tranquil delight. In Kyamia's embrace they softly croon, the twin silver moons in eternal, and this is where Fava's contribution comes in,
Spoons.
tune. In eternal tune.
That was wonderful. I'm going to say you get 1d6 influence as many poems as you write me, so just keep going with it. And that's actually the end of the show. Now, part 2, actualplaypods.com. I really had a good time, and I'll see everyone in a couple weeks. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good night.